Hey everyone, it's Desiree, and yet another video. This one's going to be a little bit different. We're going to play with some Inktense blocks. We are going to play with some water-soluble oil pastels, which are great. I love Inktense blocks also, the pencils, yes. I'm going to show you another version that can be used for, I believe they're called Lyra. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing any of these names wrong. And there's other mixed media that you could use with what we are about to do. We're going to have fun, and we're going to create a watercolor look. We're going to create an embossing folder look just by using a stamp set. The stamp set comes from Rubber Stamp Tapestry. And it's just called Perfect Layering Circles. These are solid rubber stamps. Don't have to worry about the registration mark, obviously, but that's all this stamp set is. So this is part of their new release that was recently released, as I keep saying that, in January. So let's really play around with this. I'm going to create 2 happy birthday cards, and the sentiments come from the Lawn Fawn Happy Sentiments. And we're going to start on a piece of craft paper. And we're just going to take the different size of circles, and I'm going to use my Versamark ink, and we're going to stamp all over this panel. You just want to make sure that you've got a good coat of the Versamark ink on your stamp pad, because again, it's flat. This is like just taking a piece of rubber and slapping it down on a piece of paper, which I think can be fun. But then again, a lot of people think I'm crazy. But just taking these circles, again, all the different sizes, I'm going to use all of them for this one, and just going around, and then I'm using a clear embossing powder. Now it is my clear detailed Recollections embossing powder from Michaels, and I absolutely love it. So just using the ink and the clear, you can see the polka dots. It gives some dimension because of the embossing. It's almost like using an embossing folder, but you don't have an embossing folder. So just using the clear and the ink, you're going to get the different shade of the paper underneath. So it's almost like the paper's going to get wet. So that's one way to use those circles. Just create a background. So now I'm going to pull in my Derwent. We're going to pull in the blocks first. Now, if you have the Derwent Inktense pencils, you can use these as well. I love the blocks. Yes, I do have the pencils. Yes, I have the complete set of both. I also, yes, have the 12 sticks here of the blocks. Realized I absolutely love them. Had to have the whole set. So I have duplicates. Yay. So with the blocks, you just need a little bit of water. Just barely tip the block in and literally scribble on your rubber stamp. Take it. The paper that I'm using here is a Bristol, or excuse me, sorry about that. It's the Canson watercolor paper. So we're actually going to create, little circles of watercolors, but we can blend 2 of these colors. So again, I just dip a little bit. You don't want to keep them submerged. It's a quick dip because these are very pigmented. This is ink in a powder form almost that's compressed. At least that's how I like to describe it. Very intense, very vibrant. But you can see you can put 2 colors on, and because of the water being on the block, it's also helping to blend the 2 colors as you're drawing on your rubber stamp. You can use any of the sizes when it comes to this. I just wanted, for my video purposes, to use the larger. And you can just see how vibrant they are. You can mix and match and rub over. This time I'm using 3 colors to blend on these circles. Now you might be thinking, okay, great, this is circles, but is our background's the only thing? Think about it. A circle and the different shapes that it takes. Could be lanterns, could be holiday lights, whatever you want. So the first set of circles that I did, of course, I used the Intense ink blots. Now I'm pulling in my water-soluble oil pastels, and all the products I used will be listed down below. These are great. They remind me almost of gelatos. I do use these in my art journals because believe it or not, I do not own gelatos. Yes, do not own them, which I think is hysterical. So I'm using these the same way that I did for the blocks, the Derwents. I'm dipping the tip of the oil pastel into the water. I'm scribbling on the rubber stamp, and then I'm stamping down where I'm using 1 or 2 or whatever. Now, just because these stamps are solid doesn't mean you can't do this with other stamps. This is a technique that I see. I'm sure we all follow Lindsay, the Frugal Crafter. I absolutely love her. She does this a lot with regular stamps. Your rubber stamps will get stained depending upon the colors. It's okay. They clean up beautifully. So that's kind of what you can do with these. Just one thing. I'm very limited in what I'm showing here. But now I grabbed another piece of watercolor paper. And trust me, I'm going to keep that practice one because I'm sure I'll figure something out to do with it. And now I'm going to use a couple different sizes of the circles, probably the 2 largest sizes. And I'm just going to create some circles going across the top of this page. Again, blending colors. Now remember, when you blend colors, you want to make sure that you're choosing colors within the family. So I know there's more technical terms with this. For me, it's warm to warm, cool to cool. So blue, green, blue, purple, fuchsia blue, or orange and yellow, red and orange. That's the way, because you can see that one I did a purple and yellow, and it almost went to mud because that will make mud. So these are my 2 panels I'm going to work with. So I'm going to stamp my sentiments. So I grabbed the large happy birthday, and then I use the smaller birthday underneath. And I'm just going to stamp them on some black cardstock, and I heat emboss them with the Recollection Snow, which is white, detail embossing powder. I'm going to use a smaller of my Lawn Fawn Stitch rectangle dies to cut them out and just set them aside. I'm going to use a larger size Lawn Fawn rectangle to cut out my panel. Excuse me. And I'm just going to prop my sentiment up with some foam squares and put this right down onto the design card base. So this is a great birthday card in general, whether it's for a little one that you know, female, male, so it's very versatile. And that's the beauty of those stamps. You can make them for females, you can make them for men, the little ones, anybody that you need to send a card to, this would be perfect for. So that's our first card. Very simple, very easy, but I think very effective. So for this one, what could we do with this one? So I grabbed my Sharpie pens. I love my Sharpie pens. I have boxes and boxes. And now I'm just going to draw circles around. I am a doodler. I love to doodle. Even while I do my voiceovers, believe it or not, my hands are going. So to stop that, because my one ring makes a lot of noise, I actually sit here and I doodle. I just do. I'm very much into Zen tangling. I don't know if anyone's ever heard that. You're probably all thinking I'm crazy. So doodle for your cards. Again, it's your creation. It comes from you. It's handmade. So that's what I did. I drew circles around these, made a little tiny bottom, and now I'm drawing strings to come down. If you notice that one balloon looks like it popped, because sometimes you have so much water on there it splashes, I keep that in. It shows that it's watercolored. Of course, my wonky stitch rectangle die had to come in, and I'm using that. This is a spare watercolor brush, a water brush that I had. Now, you all know I've been loving the Blick Watercolor Pearl. I put half of the watercolor pearl into this, and I added some water. So I'm actually playing around with this to see, you know, not so much a shimmer pen, but when I'm watercoloring, I can add this accent really quick because it's already set in my brush. And it has been working. So, hello, I'm in love. It's awesome. Again, I will link that below. So again, it's not replacing my shimmer pens, my Spectrum Noir or the Nuvos or all the other ones that I've got. But when I'm watercoloring, I can add these little tiny accents. So again, just a bunch of balloons created from circles. And now I'm going to prop my sentiment again up with some foam squares and just set that in place so that we can see the balloons in all of their glory. Again, this took no time at all. I am always one where I need a birthday card in a pinch, and these were very simple to make. Literally, to make both of these cards less than 30 minutes. It took me more time to pull out all my materials than to do these cards. But again, they're very versatile. The stamp set, again, is called Perfect Layering Circles. I will have it linked down. There will be more coming from Rubber Stamp Tapestry and their peg stamps, and even some special stamps that I am honored to own. Believe it or not, yes, I truly am. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope I showed you what you can do with the different color mediums. Yes, the Derwents can be up there in price, but you don't need the whole set. You see, I worked with 12. Same thing with those oil pastel watercolor, water-based or water-soluble. They are very inexpensive. I think that was around $10. So again, I will link them below. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do join us. We have a lot of fun. By all means, leave a comment if you have a question below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I hope you're having a great day and every day, and always remember, be creative.